Hi, I'm Angie. Today I'm going to show you how to make no-cook strawberry jam. This is also known as freezer jam, and I make several batches of it, but even if you don't want to go that far, it's fun to make just 1 or 2 batches, and you don't need any special equipment, so it's really easy to do. First thing you want to do is start with freshly washed and hulled berries. Now they do sell little gadgets to pull out the hull, but what I like to do is just take this little tiny paring knife and just lop off the little bit of leaves there. And I start with them in a bowl whole like this, but I like to mash them 1 layer at a time in a separate bowl using a potato masher. That way you don't mash more berries than you need. So I take my freshly washed berries. You want to end up with 1 3/4 cup of mashed berries with the juice. So I'll put in some of the berries like that and just mash them down like this. I leave a couple of them kind of chunky so that you get nice big pieces of strawberry. Then I'll transfer that amount into a measuring cup. You want to use a liquid measuring cup, and you want to make sure you get the juice as well. So I can see how much more I need. I'll just mash up a few more. I'm going to be using CERTO Liquid Pectin to make the jam. That's the way I've always done it. It's very easy and pretty much foolproof. Okay, I'll add that to my measuring cup until I get 1 3/4 cup mashed fruit and juice. Okay, now I'm a separate clean bowl, and what's nice is you don't have to sterilize any of the equipment. You just need it to be freshly washed and clean. I'm going to add the 1 3/4 cups mashed berries and juice. I'm going to stir in 4 cups of sugar. That probably seems like a lot of sugar, but really that's all jam is. And you'll get 5 cups out of this. Okay, when the sugar and berries are well combined, you just want to let it sit still, don't touch it for 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes, and now what I'm going to do is add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to the strawberries and sugar. And 1 packet of the CERTO liquid. It comes in a box like this with 2 packets. Just pour that in. Make sure you get it all out. And you always want to check the expiration date on the box, because if it's expired, your CERTO will not set the berries. Now you want to stir for 3 minutes. And I actually do time this. You want to make sure you stir for the full 3 minutes. Okay, that's it. That's the full 3 minutes. The jam is essentially done. What you're going to do is just ladle that now into your containers. You can use these plastic containers. You can use glass jars that are clean and have a tight fitting lid. You just want to fill up to about 1/4 inch from the top. Just put the lid on, and you want to let these sit at room temperature for 24 hours until the jam is set, and then store it in the freezer for up to 6 months. I've actually left it longer than that, and it's fine. And you can leave it in the fridge for about 3 weeks. You want to make sure you don't reduce the amount of sugar, because that will affect how it sets. You don't want to double the batch either. You have to do it 1 at a time. You want to use firm, ripe fruit and make sure that you measure everything accurately. The directions in the CERTO box are really clear, and they give you lots of tips for if the jam doesn't set, and also how you can do cooked jams. So I hope you'll try making your own strawberry freezer jam. It's really fresh and delicious, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it.